What's going on, guys? My name is Rumble Skrash. In today's video we're gonna be talking about Luffy Sanji. Uh, as you saw, I did a tier list video with Luffy Sanji on it, and it was like a provisional positioning because like in paper this unit is really good. The problem is he doesn't really have a good spot inside the meta, I would say. Like, it has some problems, definitely. It's not a perfect unit. So I think he doesn't really deserve the tier 0. I'm gonna have to think where I want to place this unit, because it's not like a unit that you would like definitely want to put on any team because it works really well on any team, but it's actually a quite interesting unit in some uses and in some cases. So I don't think it's a bad unit, definitely, but it's not that as great as I thought. It can still really be very useful still, but yeah, I'm gonna be in this video actually showcasing one defense team that I built for the last day of the championship. So that worked really well, but it's like a very niche situation in which you're using Luffy Sanji in a particular way. And then, well, also I'm gonna be showing you guys like one rainbow team that you can build with Luffy Sanji, pretty straightforward. And yeah, it does not work against the slashers, but it works against any other team, any other rainbow team and stuff like that. So that's a pretty safe bet that you can actually do. So I'm gonna be really fastly talking about the abilities of the unit, but before I do, I want to mention that as I have changed a little bit my opinion of this unit and some other units in the tier list, I will probably be uploading another tier list with the new characters, some of the upcoming characters, and changing a little bit the positions of some units that I have analyzed more and stuff. So I might be doing this kind of videos once every month if I have the units to talk about. So new units, units that I wanna place differently, maybe because a new unit has come out, has changed the meta, and now a unit is very good suddenly, or it's now bad. So there's gonna be happening some changes like that, so I might be doing like a regular videos of tier lists like that. So but now let's talk about Luffy Sanji. So the passive is rainbow, attack up, and speed up, so it's nice. And the special will actually deal tons of damage to 2 enemies, and the speed buff is really nice. The attack buff is okay, but the speed buff is actually really nice. Rainbow 20 seconds, which is gonna probably be relevant. The only problem that I have with this unit is actually the special city up, which is really sorry, the city, which is 32 seconds, are quite high for what he does. So in my opinion, it would be fine as a unit if it had a lower cooldown, or if he targeted more than 2 enemies, because 2 enemies is actually not enough in my opinion. Normally with the current meta you want the special of a unit that has 32 seconds of cooldown to be kind of a finicky, so you can actually rely on the special of that unit to give you the win. And sometimes, most of the times, a special like this will not guarantee you the win because it will not target more than 2 enemies. So yeah, even if he one shots 2 enemies, maybe he just one shots irrelevant units, and the actually important ones are just not getting targeted. So yeah, you could see a lot of problems with that. So that's the main problem that I have with this unit. Also, one problem that small problems that I have is just that the speed up is only level 3, and like I would say it would be better if it was like changed, like attack up level 3, speed up level 5, maybe 6. It would be really nice. But yeah, I understand why they did that, and they put a lot of speed in the attack, in the special. But well, the only speed up level 3 is kind of meh at the start. It would be better to speed up level 5, because most of even like rare recruits and stuff that give speed for certain classes, they give speed up level 5. So normally you wanna be looking for that, but well, you get what you get. So we're gonna be first talking about the defense team and then the rainbow team. So without further ado, let's start with the defense team. So as I said, one use that you can make of Luffy Sanji is some kind of very well planned. It's not to say that I have planned very well this team, but it actually works quite well. So it's like a very specific planned team so that you can make use of his damage in the special, and also in some kind of defense, because his targeting is actually a little bit of RNG. But if you can actually play with that and make that RNG work for a defense, because the times that it works, then you will get the win, and if it doesn't target the units that you want, well, you probably won't get the win, but it's a defense, so you won't even notice, and you will still be getting some defenses. So yeah, the main idea of this team, before I show you the footage, is basically, well, we have Jack for the early defense and for the HP, but the main idea is using the Otama, which is completely max, and this Stampede Usopp, which you only need the passive, which is a Rainbow Special City app. So basically my whole team, except for Usopp, but we don't really care about Usopp, is having a Special City app level 11. So a lot of Special City app, which is actually very nice when you're using Luffy Sanji, because that means that you're reducing the really high cooldown that he has for what the special does. So the main idea is that, and normally that happens when Jack really activates early, then you get the defense. You will have received a special of Kizaru, for example, and then you will activate the defense. So you will tank. It will help you tank a bit more all the future damage that all the other slashers are gonna be dealing, including the second activation of Kizaru. And then normally, like, Roger activates, and the main idea is 2 main points, which is Luffy Sanji activating, and then that Usopp actually dying. So the Usopp normally dies because, as you can see in terms of HP, as he doesn't have limit break or anything, he's kind of low on HP, so it's really easy to make him die. And so, but the thing is that Usopp has a CT of 35 seconds, so he will probably die before activating, but the really high CT that he has for himself will allow his special to start charging while he's just sitting there. And then when he dies, Oden comes in max with max special, because the CT of Oden is 32 seconds and the CT of Usopp is 35 seconds. So if Usopp dies before activating, probably Oden will come in max, and that will be another huge nuke that you're gonna be having against slashers, and probably that will be a great way to protect your Oden if you're using him. So just put him in the bench and try to guarantee for a certain unit to die, so that he activates, so that he comes in from the bench with the special ready, and he has actually not received all the damage that the slashers have dealt before Usopp dying. So that's a very important point. But also the thing is that Luffy Sanji needs to be max for this team, at least in the special, for this team to actually work, because if you actually calculate the special city app that Luffy Sanji have, you will see that he will be activating probably before the enemy Dofi activates the defense up. So probably when Luffy Sanji activates, the enemy units, slashers, will only have defense up level 6. Now, what this team is playing for, it's basically you want Luffy Sanji to target the Oden. And Oden has only, I have him here, only has a defense of 125. So with defense up level 6, that's only 275 defense. And approximately that would be around a 60% damage reduction, maybe a little bit less. So if you calculate all the attack up that the team has, which is attack up level 11, and the multiplier 3.5, you will see that including the health cut of Jack, you're gonna be able to kill Oden with the special of Luffy Sanji. And well, obviously with some extra damage from normal attacks, that's gonna be even easier, and also with the fixed damage of Roger, that's gonna allow you to kill the Oden and probably the other unit that Luffy Sanji targets with the special of Luffy Sanji. So that's a very good use that you can make. Guarantee Luffy Sanji to activate before the Dofi. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but you want him to activate before the Dofi activates the defense up level 5, and then probably kill 2 units if Luffy Sanji does not target Dofi. I mean, you can still get the win if he targets Dofi and Oden, or Dofi and another unit, but then you would have to rely on the special of Odin coming in from the bench, killing the enemy Odin. So that might be a little bit more of RNG. But now let's see some actual play of this team. So we're gonna start with a match like this. This is a pre-recorded match, and I'm gonna be starting with this one because it's one of the first ones that I found. I have some footage of this defense team working. I am using it as an attack, so I have to change around the locations. I want Jack to be in the spot where he gets targeted the most, and then it's important to put Usopp also in that spot, and Otama because I have to put her there because the important units in the main team are actually Roger, Luffy Sanji, and well, Jack, but Jack has enough defense. So normally, as you can see, Jack manages to activate when his special gets ready, but that's also another reason why Jack is important to put in the spot where he takes the most damage, because if he will get targeted. So you need him to get targeted, to get a little bit delayed in the order of attacks, so that he doesn't attack right before charging the special. So as you can see, Usopp died, and my Odin came in almost max from the bench, and he has actually the special ready to activate, and he will actually do that right after the special of Luffy Sanji. So as you can see, Luffy Sanji activates and actually deals a lot of damage, kills the Kizaru, and the Dofi is almost dead, but now the special of Odin actually misses the second part, so it could have been even better, but as you can see, this is almost GG because the enemy Odin actually activated, but the defense up from Jack helped us actually tank that. And don't forget that we still have PP Whitebeard and Kalgaran Nolan. It would be even better to put Kaku there instead of Kalgaran Nolan, and then this is just GG, and we just get the win after. So with a normal attack of PP Whitebeard we will. So yeah, I think this illustrates pretty well how this team works. So I'm gonna show you some other footage of this team actually working. So this one in particular is against also on a slasher team. The previous one had, I think it had an Otama in the bench, but now I'm not sure. Or maybe no, it had a Kalgaran Nolan, and this one has actually a Josu. So I have also, I think, some footage of a PP Whitebeard on the bench, so it's gonna be the third match that I show. Don't get me wrong, like this team can definitely lose, and as you can see here, Jack was about to attack before charging the special, but as he is in the middle, he got targeted, so he got delayed a little bit, and then he managed to activate the special, and then he managed to activate the special. So yeah, as you can see, we have some defense. We activate the special of Roger, which normally happens, and now we will actually get the special of Luffy Sanji, making really useful the defense down that we just applied from Roger. And as you can see, we actually target Odin, and Odin just straight up dies. So now this is pretty much GG, I would say, because we have the defense, enough defense to tank the special of Dofi, I would say, if he actually manages to activate. And well, he might kill some unit, but we still have the whole bench, and now they just only have 4 units. It's true that they even had like here Shanks crew, so this is like maybe against the variation, more tanky variation of the slashers, but as you can see, it can still work because some people are running the variation with B3, with oh, actually, now I realized this slasher team in particular didn't have Kizaru, so maybe it wasn't like the best slasher team. But well, some variation with the slasher team, this team can also defeat. And as you can see, it's more slow to kill this one because they have the defense up from Shanks crew. But as you can see, Luffy Sanji activates again, one shots the unit because defense up level 5 is not enough, and Shanks crew hadn't activated the defense. And yeah, now the special of Odin will just finish the match if he targets Dofi. Yeah, he does. So that's just GG. I'm gonna try to find another slasher team with PP Whitebeard on the bench, and that it's not as weird as this last one, because I didn't realize this team had an Kizaru. Normally you want Kizaru in a slasher team, so yeah. So here I have actually a variation of the slasher team with PP Whitebeard on the main team. So sorry, on the bench, and you're gonna be seeing that it works actually quite well. So here, and even they have cost 1 units. I mean, definitely you can lose the match. So sometimes it happens that Jack actually does not manage to activate the special, as this particular case is. As you can see, Jack didn't get targeted enough with normal attacks, so he didn't activate, and now we don't have the extra defense up level. Well, in this particular instance, level 2, because my Jack is not completely maxed, but ideally it would be level 3. So now we're taking a lot of damage with those specials, and it shouldn't have happened this way. But yeah, we still get the Otama. Don't forget that she can actually heal, and that will actually help us a bit. We debuff the slashers. We will get now a little bit of defense, which is gonna be very useful, because right now we do not have any now, because of the we lost the defense up from Roger, and now actually we kill units with the special of Luffy Sanji, as the idea of the team is we actually killed Roger and Kizaru. So unfortunately we do not target Oden, and as you can see sometimes it's really annoying, but the Usopp can actually activate if the enemy Oden is really slow and is not activating for some reason. But as you can see, oh, he actually missed. So you want the Usopp to die, but right now it's not happening. But well, it's anyway. You still have the whole bench, and the enemy team doesn't really have that many units, and the Oden has already activated. So this is probably just GG, because of the amount of units with the special almost ready that we have. And as you can see, we're gonna be having to tank some damage here, but we still even have a Kalgaranol, and we can afford to lose Roger. This will just one shot 2 units. Well, if he targets Luffy, probably not. And then it's just gonna be GG when the PvP Whitebeard and Oden activate. So yeah, here as you can see, I think the match ends here. Yeah. So as you can see, it can work very well against the slashers with B3 low. I wouldn't say, and with any unit in the bench, I wouldn't say it's actually like a counter to it. I've been using it sometimes as an attacking team to when I saw a slasher, and it actually works in the attacking team with the positioning that you can see. But well, I mean, I wouldn't really recommend to use this team as an attacking team whenever you see a slasher. But yeah, as a defense, it works quite well. So now I'm gonna be showing you guys actually one match with the Rainbow team that I mentioned. So the Rainbow team in particular is actually the Rainbow team that I talked about in my tier list video with Luffy Sanji. So basically, what I say about like the Rainbow team for me, it's Shanks, Rayleigh, and Roger. So these 3 units, as you can see, and then I think a very good variation is where one of the units is actually Oden, and then you can put a lot of different units in the place where Luffy Sanji is. So there's a lot of variations, like for example the Dofi, as you can see in the enemy team, the Kizaru, Luffy Sanji, Stronghold Days, some PvP limited rare recruit, which allows you to be making like an 8-man rainbow team and stuff like that. So I still think the 8-man rainbow team is the best rainbow team and one of the best teams in the game currently. But I think that the rainbow team with Luffy Sanji in it is actually the best 6-man rainbow team, because you're gonna be seeing that it works really well. And normally the rainbow team does not really have that high speed, but Luffy Sanji allows the team to have a lot of speed, not only with the passive but also with the special, because it actually can tank a lot of damage, as you have just seen. And as we are not going as up against the slashers, which are really fast, then this team is actually quite useful. Now I want to mention that this team cannot actually beat normally the slashers. It might at some point in some situation, but normally it can't. But against other rainbow teams it works quite well. So as you can see, even we are like not dealing as much damage as we would with a PvP Whitebeard, because it's a very tanky team and Rainbow team. But these matches are more of a slow match, so normally both of the Rayleighs are, as you can see, activate. Mine just died really early, but it's okay because we got the PvP Whitebeard in. And normally, but you're gonna be seeing that the enemy Rayleigh actually gets to activate and stuff. These are like slow matches, but as you can see, this is almost GG. We are even gonna have the bad luck to have to tank the special of Luffy, and yeah, the Roger dies. But it's just GG because we have the special of PP Whitebeard and the special of Luffy Sanji ready. And even if the PP Whitebeard does not target Luffy, which doesn't happen, the special of Luffy Sanji will just give us the game. So, and that's just gonna be it. Um, so yeah, very good team, but not. I would not say this team actually can beat the Slashers. So yeah, useful team to have if you want to invest in Luffy Sanji. The thing is, for most of these actual variations of teams, you normally need to have Luffy Sanji maxed out. So I actually maxed him because at the moment there is not a lot of strength units that you need to max, and in the future not really either. I mean, in the far future, yes, but for the next 2 months, there's not gonna be any strength unit that it's of the utmost importance to maxing, and the important ones I already have. Yeah, I mean, there's some PvP limited rare recruits, which are strength, for example, PvP low. But the thing is that looking at the Sugo Fest of the PvP limited rare recruit ores, he came maxed with max special and passive. So probably it's gonna be happening in the future with the other bannets, but it's not guaranteed. But at least I hope they do. And yeah, so maybe it's not really that worth to invest in Luffy Sanji if you have a lot of good units. But if you want to find that some kinds of defense teams like the one that I showcased, it's actually good to max him. For that defense team is actually an absolute guarantee to have requirements, sorry, to have Luffy Sanji max, I would say. But well, I mean, you can find definitely other uses for this unit, but I would say it's not like the top zero unit that I set in the tier list. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be changing that, but it's still not a bad unit. It's a very interesting unit to say the least. And yeah, but the problem is that you normally want him to partner up with at least an Otama, because his CT is so high and for what he does. So you need his special to charge earlier, so you need the special CT. So the fact that you have to be using an Otama or other units is actually making you waste, quote unquote, some spots in the team. So yeah. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about these two teams. And it was not about to showcase the teams, it was to show some uses that Luffy Sanji can have. And let me know in the comment section down below if you were lucky enough to pull them, if you pulled for them, and if you are actually going to decide to be using them or not. So for example, this last match that you have just seen against that variation of the Rainbow team with Dofi, normally I was always getting the win. You can have some bad RNG, and it has happened to me. I have lost some matches against this team, but there was like a lot of people in the top tiers using a team like this. So I was pretty consistently going up against variations like this, and normally I was getting the win. Sometimes I lost, but yeah, a useful team to be considering. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you think of Luffy Sanji, and as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.